In the 1980s, there were lots of important things going on in the world. For example, Ronald Reagan was elected as president and the first space shuttle lifted off. But there is another thing that happened which paved the way for innovations that would change our lives forever. You're listening to WJHS 91.5, The Eagle. Welcome to Media in the Making, a podcast where we look at the evolution of media from 1600s all the way to present day. In this podcast series, we ask, how have different forms of media evolved and changed culture? Media in the Making, where media and culture are always changing. Now, let's take a step back in time. The 1980s, a time of many new inventions. Blockbusters were invented. People would flood the fronts of buildings to get a spot in the show. In addition, MTV was created, a TV channel which would air many music videos. The first music video being aired was The Video Killed the Radio Stars by the Buggles. But arguably, one of the most important inventions in this time was the camcorders. Though the camcorders made during this time were not the first, they were very important. The camcorders were named this because of their new upgrades. Instead of the traditional camera, these new cameras would record video and sound, giving them the name the camcorders. The most notable version of these gadgets was the Sony BMC 100p. The BMC 100p was the first video and sound recorder to be released for the public sale. The BMC 100p was not the first of its time. This line of camcorders were called the Beta movies. This was because they operated with a Betamax cassette. There were over 3 versions of these camcorders, each improving on the ones to come's flaws. Now, let's get into the details. These camcorders are not like the cameras you see today, or the cameras on your phones. These cameras were so big that they had to rest on your shoulder. Though much older and not as technologically advanced as the cameras you see today, they still have some similar traits. Like some of the modern cameras, the BMC 100p was able to fold up when it was not in use, adding extra value to the new invention at the time. It also had a zoom feature, making it so you could film smaller things. The BMC 100p was able to record up to 3.5 hours of footage at one time, beating all the other older versions of camcorders. The most important thing about this is that it was sold to the public. Families would now be able to record videos with sound in their own homes. Different families and different cultures can now show each other what their culture is like. This also helped families keep important memories that they have in a way that they can watch them later in life. The invention itself isn't the most important part of it. The BMC 100p brought totally new technology to the table. This technology would help future companies improve on the product and add new additions. Even the creator of the BMC 100p, Sony, was able to add an addition. They created the new model called the CCD V8. This camera was a complete upgrade to the previous BMC 100p's flaws. They enhanced the zoom on this new model to a 6x zoom, which is double the BMC 100p had, and they also made the camera lighter, with more recording time. Now, because of these innovations and upgrades, people are always creating new cameras all the time, making them better and better. Only the future can tell us what new additions we will get next. Media in the Making is brought to you by WJHS 91.5 and the Eagle Tech Academy media classes. Media in the Making, teaching you about evolution of media through history and its effects on culture. For more from the students, more podcast series are on the 91.5 website, wjhs915.org. Thank you for joining us.